This is Art History with Kenneth on the KJL Podcast Channel, a series where timeless masterpieces are brought to life through the lens of artist and host, Kenneth J. Lewis Sr. Each episode takes viewers on a visual and historical journey, uncovering the stories, styles, and significance behind the world's most influential artists and art movements. From bold brushstrokes to revolutionary ideas, this is where the past meets creative perspective. The journey begins now.
Welcome to the Art History Show on the KJL Podcast Channel. I'm your host, Kenneth J. Lewis Sr., painter, storyteller, and curator of visual memory. Here, we journey beyond galleries and textbooks to meet artists who shape culture from the margins. This episode is part of our ongoing Southern Artist Series, where we spotlight voices from the American South whose creativity rose from the soils of lived experience. Today's story is about a man who painted from a porch in Montgomery, Alabama, using house paint and plywood. The episode is titled Painted from the Porch, the singular work of Mose Tolliver. You may have never heard of him, but Mose Tolliver was a creative force who turned pain into poetry, a self-taught folk artist whose figures float, flirt, and tell stories from another dimension of the Deep South. Let's step into his world.
As long as I'm doing myself, walk stuff. It don't make me none different.
Is there a certain kind of wood you like best?
Yeah.
What kind?
Good wood.
What kind?
Good wood. Some wood ain't no good.
So the kind of wood you like best is good wood?
Good wood.
Mose Tolliver was born in Montgomery, Alabama, sometime around 1920. The exact date was never crystal clear, but what is clear is that he was one of 12 children in a working-class African-American family. His early life was marked by hard labor. He picked cotton, worked odd jobs, and eventually landed a steady gig at a furniture factory. That is, until a tragic accident changed everything. A load of marble crushed his legs, leaving him permanently disabled. Mose couldn't walk without crutches. He battled depression and isolation. But that's when painting entered his life. With encouragement from a friend, he picked up brushes, leftover house paint, and found scraps of wood. He began painting right from his front porch, day after day, tapping into a rhythm that seemed both personal and mythic. Mose Tolliver didn't go to art school. He didn't study technique or theory. But what he created was pure visual language. His subjects included birds, snakes, bicycles, mermaids, and countless self-portraits. He painted women with impossible proportions and curious expressions, sometimes sexual, sometimes symbolic. His colors were bold. His outlines were thick. His forms were flat, yet full of energy. He often signed his works Mose T and hung them on nails stuck into his porch wall. Every surface was fair game. Sometimes he painted on doors, sometimes on ceiling tiles, always with improvisation, never with pretense. He repeated themes, but never exactly the same way. It was like visual jazz. No two works were alike, but all of them felt like they came from one storyteller, the man on the porch. Critics and collectors started to take notice in the 1980s. His work was included in major folk art shows, including at the Corcoran Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., and yet, despite national attention, Mose never left Montgomery. He stayed true to his roots, his voice, and his style. You're listening to the Art History Show on the KJL Podcast Channel. If you're enjoying these stories of overlooked legends and creative brilliance, be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Want to support this independent broadcast? You can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. Every gesture helps us keep shining light on artists like Mose Tolliver. And don't forget to check out our other shows on the channel, including the Muse Unveiled show experience, Art with Kenneth show, and our gallery and museum tour show. Now let's return to the porch. Moses' art is deceptive. It looks simple, naive, but look closer. There's humor there. There's a sly kind of wit. He often painted himself as a half-man, half-bird character, riding a bicycle with bent legs. He turned his disability into imagery that was full of movement and light. He also returned again and again to the image of a nude female figure, legs splayed, hair wild. Some called it erotic, others called it visionary. For Mose, it was simply a recurring figure from his imagination. There was always a kind of spiritual repetition in his work. His paintings were almost like chants, simply in structure, but layered with rhythm and emotion. He didn't need a gallery space to make a statement. His porch was the canvas, and the world came to see him. Mose T is often labeled an outsider artist, a term that can feel both celebratory and limiting. He never called himself that. He just painted. His works live in the collections of major institutions now: the Smithsonian, the American Folk Art Museum, and others. And yet he remained rooted in his community. He painted for neighbors, for visitors, and for himself. His daughter Annie and son Charlie also became painters, continuing the Tolliver legacy in their own way. Mose passed away in 2006, but his voice, bright, unusual, and deeply Southern, still echoes.
As long as I'm doing so, it don't make me none different.
Mose Tolliver reminds us that art doesn't have to be polished or academic or understood to be powerful. It just has to be true. He painted to survive. He painted to laugh. He painted because he could no longer run, but his imagination could still fly. If you've never seen his work before, take a few minutes today to look him up. Let his forms challenge you. Let his colors uplift you. And let his porch become a doorway into the world you didn't know you needed. This has been Kenneth J. Sr., and thank you for watching the Art History Show right here on the KJL Podcast Channel. I hope today's journey added some color, courage, and curiosity to your day. And until next time, stay visionary, stay open, and always dig deeper.
Thank you for watching Art History with Kenneth on the KJL Podcast Channel. If this episode inspired, informed, or intrigued you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. Kenneth J. Lewis Sr. returns every other week with more captivating stories from the art world, exploring the legends, the techniques, and the timeless works that continue to shape our creative world. Until the next brushstroke in history, keep watching, keep wondering, and keep the art alive.